Alright, today is going to be a 10 Chaos challenge. I just sold the Watcher's Eye that I got from my last video for 100 divines. The boy had to pay me in mirror shards. He was obviously running strapped for cash, so he had to give me 2 mirror shards and a bunch of divine orbs. In celebration of that, I am gonna do a 1C per slot Exsanguinate challenge. I am of the opinion that Exsanguinate is one of the most powerful skills in the game. Now, sure, you could do more damage with Reap, but I can't do more damage with Reap. I'm not very good at controlling my mouse. My eyes have to take focus on too many things in this game for me to know where my mouse is. So my eyes, these guys, they focus on my character and his boots, because I really struggle with damage over time. So I'm always looking at my character's boots. And I don't really know exactly where my mouse is when I'm looking at my character's boots. I kind of have a peripheral vision thing going on. I can kind of see where it's at, but when I'm playing Reap, as soon as I take my character off of the boots and I start reaping and I'm looking where my mouse is, then I got damage over time on my feet and I die. So I don't play Reap. I don't do more damage with Reap. On paper it does more damage, but in reality, Exsanguinate, it's the skill for me, not Reap. Let me bust up some of this coffee. Let's get grinding on POE trade. Now I have my first item already in the bag. It is going to be this bad boy. 1 Chaos, and we have one here. Let's see if we can actually get this guy to sell it. He's AFK. This one has a 12% chance to gain Unholy Might. Now, doing whatever it's called. Pure Physical is probably the way to go and not worry about this Unholy Might. But if I can get a 12% chance to gain Unholy Might on kill, I'm gonna take it. Oh, we got an increased crit chance there for 1C. And actually, you know what? I don't want to spend more than 1C, so I'm putting... Nah, I'm not gonna put a 1C filter. None of these are that great. That's the best one. Penetration. Let's see if we can get this guy to respond. 15% crit, why not? Nope. I gotta go non-corrupted. The problem with this kind of a build is these people, they're not gonna respond for 1 Chaos. An Alchemy Orb. This is free. If I can get this guy to respond for 1 Alchemy Orb, this is free. This is a free item under a Chaos. I can't get him to respond. Alright, alright. What about you? You gonna respond? We are listening to River City Ransom OST. Regular Nintendo game on the NES. One of the best games ever made. Used to play it with my cousin virtually non-stop. You'd get them Texas boots and then you'd kick the trash can and you would wreak havoc. Fantastic game. They've made a couple modern ones that all suck. Alright. Let's go here. Accept the invite. Accept the trade. Boom. Thanks for the trade. I don't understand why you're selling this for 1C, but you get you, man. Luxurious. Failed to join instance. Visit hideout. It does this all the time. I don't understand why. Visit hideout. There we go. Accept. 1C. Weapons are in the bag. There's 2C for the weapons in the bag. +1 to power charges. Thank you, good sir, for being a human. These bad boys, all they are is power charge sticks. They're gonna give me power charges like crazy. Power charge sticks. Alright, now, there's an amulet that also gives +1 to power charges. So let's, amulet. Let's see if we can get it. Are we gonna get the amulet for free so I can spend 2 chaos? Might as well have kept that in here. So I can spend 2 chaos on an item instead of 1. I mean, 15 days ago, I'm gonna be so impressed if one of these guys responds for an alchemy orb. Come on, one of you guys gotta give it to me for 11 minutes ago. Why would you post it 11 minutes ago if you ain't willing to trade for an alchemy orb? I mean, the time it takes. They gotta be bots, right? If they respond. The time it takes to trade for an alchemy. Why would you? It was up there 11 minutes ago. Surely nobody bought that. Why is that being listed? It's gotta be a bot who's like auto-listing things. 20 days ago. Oh, we got it! Free item. Wait. Who are you? Yeah, buddy. Failed to join instance because you're a bot. Well, I have no way to get to his instance. Because he's not a real human being. Nope, he's not gonna fucking trade me in anything. I should have known. Let's keep it going. We get this item for free, baby. This is actually the music in the game where you're in the shop. God damn it, what is going on? I don't want party invites, I want trade requests. God damn it. They all responded at once. There we go. Boom, baby. And I don't want to leave that guy hanging, so I'm gonna go buy his thing too. I don't like to offer a trade and then not pick up on it. If I say I'm gonna trade something, I'm gonna trade something. I should do a donation and just buy 1 alchemy items and then pay a divine for it. But only reason I don't do that is I'm pretty sure these are all bots. If I could verify that it's a real human, I'd do a divine donation to these bad boys just for listing these low-grade items. Because these low-grade items are hard to get. Which one's better? Oh, you're already maxed out at 24 strength and intelligence. 47 life, power charge, duration. We'll go with this one, more life. I mean, I guess I could just pull it out of my own inventory, but I feel that the whole experience is buying them. So I got 1 item for free. So now I can spend 2C on my chest. So let's see what we got here. 2 chaos. Can I get a 6th link? For 2 chaos. Whoops. I can get a 6th link for 2 chaos. Let's specify body armor. I mean, that's pretty lit. It's like almost everything we need, just really low stats of everything. Evasion, energy shield, life. But it's gonna be real hard to... Oh, this already has all the colors I need, I think. Red, red, red. I'm not gonna be using green, am I? I guess I can do Awakened Chain, but probably better to not use Awakened Chain. I've got too many options to pick from. This one's got spell suppression on it, but no life. This one should work. Come on. You want that 2C. You want that 2C. "35 minutes ago. You wouldn't... You listed this 34 minutes ago. Come on, why wouldn't you respond? Don't make me sad." Yeah. Body armor. Done. Of course I can't visit your hideout because you're a bot. Because no normal human would be... Oh, maybe he's not a bot. What kind of normal human's gonna sell an item for 2 chaos? This late in the league. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Alright. Body armor, done. Leave current party. Oh, I forgot to move my face. I'm over here dancing and my face is off screen. Let me move my face off screen real quick. This mask has a little thing in it. It makes my nose itch. But you definitely can't know who I am. I am completely hidden. So people who hire people for jobs can, you know, still hire me. And they don't know that I'm a clown on the internet. Alright, maximum power charges. Let's go back to that. Power charges. And let's put a... Let's just leave that 2C on, and let's go with helmets. Any maximum power charges on a helmet? Oh, look at that. Okay. We got that unique helmet. I don't want to use that unique helmet. So let's go to a rare. Is there any rare? Nothing. Okay. Any... And let's turn this into a implicit power charge. Let's sort by life. Added chaos damage. What do we got here? Alright, I'm not going to be getting a power charge on my helmet. None of these are quite good enough. I mean, this one's got strength, armor, evasion, energy... evasion and armor. +2 to socketed gems. Maybe I can work with that. Nah, fuck that. So the helmet, I think I'm gonna use as a stat stick. Let's just go pseudo total elemental resistances. Move that to 1. God damn it. God, this mask is really agitating my face. Cold lightning rarity, look at that. Can I get a life on this bad boy too? Let's see if I can get 50 life. Fire, cold, stun, fire, cold, evasion, energy shield, both of what I want. Ooh, light radius. Oh, we'll need some life regeneration. I wonder if I can... Oh, and alchemy. This will be free. Strength is nice. I'll need some of that. I don't really care about armor, though. There we go. Spell suppression. 1 chaos. This has everything I need. It's not quite a stat stick for elemental resistances, but it does have spell suppression. I can get a 12er right there. That's a 12 banger. Oh, yeah, I think that's where it's at. This one right here. 12 days ago. He's been sitting on that item for 12 days, waiting for someone to offer him his one divine. I mean, his one chaos. And he's not gonna respond. 12 days ago, that dude is in the wind. He's doing illegal activities outdoors right now. Ooh, white sockets. Fire, spell suppression, dex, evasion, with an open slot. Direct whisper. 1 chaos, let's do this. Alright, let's go back to the total elemental resistances route. Yeah, got my helmet. I like this map. Has the frickin' maps on it, the atlas. Let me see what kind of unique rings we got in here. Actually, let me see if I can get a physical leech. This one doesn't count. I'm just buying it because I offered to buy it. How are they so fucking slow? Jesus. I mean, it pops up a thing, you just click accept as soon as it comes to you. I missed the guy, so I was rude. Unintentionally rude. I didn't mean it. Forgive me. Which one do I want? This one's got more resistances, I think. 1, 2, 3. This one's got an open suffix, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has an open suffix as well. This one's better, I think. Oh, this one has more energy shield and evasion, though. Ooh, that's a tough call. I'll do that one. We'll create a tab here. We'll put it with my other gear. Where did I put there? This is where I put my elite gear here. So I need one more C. There we go. Now let's check unique rings. Obviously I want a hoop, but I'm gonna see if there's anything better. I wish this one right here, POEDB would always pop up first, but... Lahoop! No, no. No, 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 no. There's some recoup there. I could trigger a spirit. Apply additional curse. That could be interesting. I might be able to get one of those pretty good. Cannot be chilled, cannot be frozen. If it didn't have all that mana regeneration, which I won't need, that would be a pretty good choice. Oh, Laurie's Lantern. I'm sure I can get this for a C. That's one of my favorite rings in the entire game. Whoops, wrong spot. Yeah. Oh, we can even get Discipline has increased aura of effect, but I probably want this resistances. Oh, I can get this bad boy for free. Come on, give it to me. You know you want this Orb of Alchemy. This tasty Orb of Alchemy. Nah, you don't want that tasty Orb of Alchemy. Oh, he does! Another free slot! Alright, what other ring? Got that bad boy. I could just use this guy, but it's with attacks and not spells. I wonder if Ming's Heart's cheap. I don't think it's usually very cheap. There is one for 1C. It's almost at the very bottom. It's gonna reduce my maximum life and my maximum energy shield. If I get desperate, I could do that. I mean, Original Sin, I'll probably get one of those for a C. Rarity... Concentrate when you deal a critical strike. That'll give me a level 10 Concentrate all the time. That wouldn't be too bad of an option. Gain Onslaught for 10 seconds when you cast a Golem skill. Socketed Golems have 20% increased attack and cast speed. I've never even seen that before. Plus 100 life per red socket. 10% increased attack speed and 100 life with level 2 to socketed gems. This might be a good option. I've never even heard of this ring. Ooh, Fish and String Strength. Let's see if this is a C. One chaos. Oh, the socket's gone. I don't even remember the song from the game. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna get a good, unique ring. I mean, this one's pretty good. It's got global crit, which I might need. No, I'll just do a 1C. Mental resistances. I typed ring. We all saw it. We were all here for it. Oh shit, it's just gonna give me that one. Look at those resistances. It's got an open slot for life. Let's get some energy shield on my ring. Life, energy shield. It's got physical damage to attacks, which doesn't matter, but it's free. Let's see if we can get a free ring. Not online. Ooh, 14% cast speed, energy shield, rarity. Hold on, what are my resistances looking like? I mean, lightning. Yeah, that might be able to work. 14% increased cast speed, and then I got an open prefix for life. Let's see if we can get this bad boy. Ooh, +1 to minimum frenzy charges. I can get 3 free frenzy charges by running this. I want the cast speed. What even song is this? Alright, he doesn't like me. We're not friends. Open prefix. Oh, it's already got life. Oh, this is it. The double dragon track. This is when you're fighting the boss. This is when you know shit gets real. (42 elemental resistances, 16 cast speed. A regret? I'm not buying anything that costs regret. I need those regrets. When you live a life like mine, you have nothing but regrets. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if there was physical damage leeches life. Physical damage leached his life. I'll take any of them for... Oh. It's got recoup even? Yeah, that's it. Come on, buddy. You know you want my C. You know you want my C. I know I want your ring. And you know you want my C. Let's have an exchange. Let's have an exchange. Come on. That was a perfect ring. Give it to me. Give me that ring. Come on. Come on. Let's bump up my budget to 2. There's wild man out there listen it for 2C. Oh, the 2C is where it's at. God, it's so bad. But I think the physical damage leeches life is gonna be worth it. God, if I could just get this ring here. Actually a pretty good ring. He's not gonna mess with it. Alright, well, just gonna have to... Maybe there's something other than rings that'll give me this? Nope, just rings. Physical damage leeches life is pretty important for Insanguinate. Alright. Let's see if we can get a high chaos resistance ring for cheap. A Ming's Heart for 1C. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm a wild man. cast speed. Open prefix for a life. Lightning chaos, cast speed, chaos. Yeah, we'll pump up some chaos resistance with this bad boy. This one's got energy shield too, though. Let's see, let's do a 30 here, and then energy shield. And we can pump short by energy shield. I find that you can get a lot of energy shield on energy shield and evasion on rings, and people don't really value them that high. Well, it's only 38. I guess I can just go through the whole list. Ooh. Let's get some recoup. +1 to energy shield. +1 to energy shield. Fire. I'm like a dream for these people listing these trash items. And here I come, buying them up like they're freaking awesome. Chaos, lightning, energy shield, cast speed, open prefix. Okay, let's just get rid of that. And let's just go cast speed. Total cast speed. Let's just put that at 12. And then, total resistances. I gotta do total elemental resistances. Total elemental resistances. With an open prefix, look at that. Oh, he's not gonna be there for sure. Come on, come on, reply back, baby. Go away from AFK for 1 chaos. Let's do this. Oh, got that trade with the clutch. And we need a belt. What are my resistances looking like? We are overloaded on colds. We gotta get lightning and chaos. Belt. Total the maximum life. Let's just put this at 80. Let's get some energy shield on the belt too. Energy shield. Let's put that at 40. Let's see if we got anything. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Lightning resistance. Regeneration rate. That cold resistance though. know what? I think it's more important to get... There's an open suffix here. I can just add lightning. Let's just try to get... this one. That's 2. Yeah, this one should be good enough. 2 again. No, I don't want to spend 2 on a belt. Lightning, life, that's such low regeneration rate. Okay, we're done with that soundtrack. It's looping over again. Let's see. Let's do... I don't even know what this OST is like. Let's experience it. Oh yeah. Pair of gloves. And a pair of boots. What are my resistances? Need some lightning resistances. Steel. And chaos. Gloves. Let's just remove this and then put lightning directly. I mean, I could change the resistances, but I don't have Jack. Oh, I don't want that energy shield or that life. Just see what I can get for lightning resistance. Dex, lightning resistance. So let's just do a 40 and then add a life. 50. And then we'll sort by energy shield or evasion. Sort by energy shield. I mean, these attack skills are useless, but you know what? I don't even care. Yeah, it's good enough. That's 1C, right? I can't remember if it was 1C. I'm pretty sure it's 1C. He's gonna go out of his mind just to trade me a 1C item. I love this guy. I should give him more. I'm not sure he's not a bot. I don't want to over... Oh, he's definitely not a bot. He's got a guild stash. Shit. Alright, where is my resistances? I need a little bit of lightning and a whole lot of chaos. Let's go. Chaos, resistance. Let's X out on the life. A little bit of lightning, we need 20. Movement speed, we need a minimum of 25%. Let's go to the boots. Chaos resistance, lightning, move speed. I could regal that and then add a mod to it. Let's go energy. Let's just see what kind of max energy shield we can get on this. Open prefix, that's the one. We came in 1 chaos under budget. Assuming I can get this pair of boots. I cannot get that pair of boots. Oh yeah, I am geared up. You may think I'm dancing. I have to piss like a Chinese racehorse. So I have all my gear. Got it for 9 chaos. 1 chaos under budget. Sub 10C build. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with it. But I'm gonna have to take it on a second video. I'm gonna have to concatenate these together, even though I don't know how to do any video editing. I'm gonna have to figure out how to just slap these together. Should be pretty easy with Windows Movie Maker. I will be back. I'm gonna socket all this. I'm gonna gear it all up. You don't need to see any of that. Alright. I am done building it. For my 6th link, I went Exsanguinate. Brutality. Ignore this is a 21. I know I'm going to cheap budget, but I don't have a level 20 Exsanguinate. So we're just going to use a level 21 Exsanguinate. And we're just going to have to deal with that. Just going to have to deal with it. I got 1 level higher than I should. Brutality. Unleash support. Power charge on critical strike. Critical damage and critical strike. Those are the 6 links. I went with Pride, Petrified Blood, Grace, Herald of Purity, and Vitality. I am Frost Blinking to apply Curse. I have no Anoint. Is there any cheap Annoyance that would be considered budget? This one has a silver, so that one doesn't count. What about one of these physical damage? A silver, a gold. I mean, this one's real cheap. I'll go without an Anoint. No Anoint. No Anoint, no sockets, no cluster jewels, just old school grabbing skills, grabbing ass. This is a 9 chaos. Legitimate 9 chaos. All this stuff, you can just level these up all on your own. There's nothing, no awakened gems, nothing special. A 9 Chaos Assassin build. Let's see. Let's start with just a T16. I don't remember if Cage is any good. Let's just start T16. No yellowing, no rarifying. Just a flat T16 map. I'll grab the Delirium. I shouldn't, but I will. I really like the Unleash playstyle. I'm only grabbing the shrines because I have Delirium up. If I didn't have Delirium up, I wouldn't grab the shrines. Shrines are a little dishonest. Doesn't show the power of Exsanguinate. So I am doing probably about 500,000 damage. Maybe a little more. It's hard to tell. I got a few things to reduce my crit chance. So my crit is only 80% with 568% multi. And it seems like I can do it just fine. Now the build isn't 100% honest with its defenses. I have no ailment mitigation or immunity, so I will die just like that from time to time. I didn't see what killed me there. Bleed, poison, shock, a hit that I didn't see. Defenses are dishonest. Looks like Unleashes only give me 1 power charge per cast, which is a little disappointing. I was hoping I'd be able to get to like 3 or 4 power charges on a single cast. Now, I could go 10 power charges and path over to get the 10th, but the bonuses for the power charges probably aren't worth navigating all the way over to that extra power charge. Probably not worth it. Looks like one of those dudes drops a little spinny tornado, and that spinny tornado of elemental damage wrecks me because spell suppression doesn't apply to dot damage. I really like the Unleash playstyle because you can just run around, and when you're moving, you're not wasting damage because you're stacking up your Unleashes. So it's very evasive. It's very good for something like not Simulacrum, Sanctum, because you can dodge all the attacks and just unleash a big attack on them. Makes for a very evasive playstyle, and it's pretty fun, I think, to kind of just navigate around, avoid stuff, and then blast with an Unleash. So if you're asking yourself, how can I get a build going for 9 Chaos? This is one way to do it. Sanguinate is an extremely overpowered skill. It's way better. It's like casting... How many tendrils do you get? How many tendrils does Exsanguinate have? Several tendrils. Does not say how many tendrils. Oh, fires 9 tendrils. Tendrils to 9 targets. So each cast you can hit 9 people. It's like casting 9 arcs when you put chain on. And each one of these does way more damage than arc. Plus, it does a damage over time multiplier. So, Exsanguinate is just extremely good. The only real downside I would say to Exsanguinate is it forces you to use life as your resource. But that could even be a positive because mana is so hard to regenerate in this game. It's pretty great. So you may ask, oh, you're only getting this because it's that early in the league. And if it was later in the league, you couldn't get this gear for that price. And that is only correct on the 6-link body armor. That is it. You probably can't get a 6-link body armor for 1C early in the league, but if you ignore the body armor, this is fully and legitimately a 9C build that obviously struggles a little with T16 with its dishonest defenses and low life. You'd have to... I could probably put Purity of Elements on, and if I would have pathed around the idea, bought around the idea of using Purity of Elements, I could have saved a lot of resistances, because you see I pumped up my resistance is too high for me to justifiably use Purity of Elements. I can't use Purity of Elements if I don't need that extra resistance. I'd just be using Purity of Elements to get ailment immunity. Elemental ailment immunity. I'm not going to do that. Now, if I would have shopped a little more savvy, I could have, you know, picked less elemental resistances, more life, more energy shield, which would have been pretty rad. Yeah, sure, let's do the big bomb. Let's try a T16 big bomb. Oh, I didn't read any of that. They're probably immune to physical. Yep, they're immune to physical. Alright, well, let's just, let's start a new map. No one ever said I knew how to read. I never claimed that. It's never been said. I don't know how to read. I didn't like that map anyways. Alright, we're going Deathless. I'm not gonna grab that. No, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna grab that. I think my evasion is way too low. I don't have any good evasion gear. I also probably ought to pop my auras. Let's see what my evasion is. Evasion, estimated chance to evade attacks, 67%. That is way too low. Way too low to do an evasion build. Especially with no, like, extra block. I'll check it for physical damage this time. I mean, it does highlight it big and yellow. Immunity to cold. I mean, those immunities are just dumb. Immunity to cold. Nobody likes it. It's stupid. It disables the game from being able to be played. I don't think they should ever do anything that just completely disables the game. It's like, hey, you want to play this game? Nah, you can't. Unless, of course, you go around getting reflect immunity. These are curses of Diablo 2. Diablo 2 being the best ARPG ever made until Path of Exile. Yeah, I said that. And Path of Exile had to copy a lot of Diablo 2 stuff because that's what the fans were expecting. And in Diablo 2, they have elemental immunity. Some creatures being immune to an entire ailment. In Diablo 2, it is a fucking nightmare. Way worse than Path of Exile. But they felt they needed to incorporate that. But it's not a gameplay mechanic that makes for an enjoyable game or a challenging experience. It doesn't get more challenging when you can't deal damage to an enemy. That's not good game design. And hopefully with Path of Exile 2, I try to avoid all Path of Exile 2 news or spoilers because the game is nowhere near being out and I don't want to hear things that might be inaccurate in terms of information. And also, I don't want to build hype for something that won't be out for a very long time. Nothing more annoying than building hype for something that you will not see for more than a year. Why get hype for something you won't be seeing for more than a year? Let me in there. Another logbook. I have thousands and millions and billions of logbooks. Are they blocking my spells, or am I just doing that little of damage? Probably just doing that little of damage. I have Culling Strike. How come that Culling Strike didn't work? Oh, physical resistant. I'm just gonna ignore that. Now, if you're gonna do bossing in a boss that stays stationary, you probably want to drop Unleash and go for Spell Echo instead. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna Leroy Jenkins it. Okay, I completely missed my Frost Blink in. Okay, that guy's got regen. I'm not touching him. Right, for the most part, I think I'm done here. All these guys are physical resistant. I'm just gonna skip them. The chin keeps popping out of my mask. They made the mouth hole way too big. The eye hole's way too small. Or it could be that I'm wearing a mask over headphones. That could be it. Or I'm wearing a mask while streaming, which you probably shouldn't do. You should probably just show your face. But you know what? I like having jobs. Having jobs is kind of important. I wish I didn't need a job and I can play video games for a living like many other people do. But I am not engaging, talented, or entertaining enough to make this my full-time career. Not only that, I am an old man and I've ballooned my lifestyle to the point where if I'm not making double six figures, I'm not living correctly. Advice for young people: don't balloon your lifestyle up. When you start to make more and more money, live underneath your means. Take that extra cash and put it into the stock market, however you choose. You can do a dogs and Dow strategy. You can just put them into dividend stocks and hold it forever. You can go FANG. Just remember the rules of the stock market. Never lose money. Follow that rule, never lose money, you're going to be doing great. I might as well apply that curse. T16 cleared. I'm pretty sure that was deathless. 9 chaos. T16 cleared. Deathless. Alright, alright. You can do T16. I'm going to prove I got a lot of logbooks. Got a lot of logbooks. So if I can do a T16, can I do a Elder? I probably can. Let's fight an Elder. On 9 chaos. Is this the strongest build you can make for 9 chaos? Nah, probably not. Probably not. There's some broken ass mines and traps and weird chaos damage, cold dot. There's a lot of things that are better than this, but it's pretty good. You really should never complain that you can't run T16 maps and do Elder bosses, especially in Trade League. I mean, this gear is worse than solo self-found gear. I'm hit with something that's doing massive damage over time damage. Well, I'm over here talking shit as if I've already beat Elder. I might not be able to beat Elder. He is really not taking a lot of damage here. And that final wave is nothing more than a DPS check. And I think I'm going to fail that DPS check. I died so fast that I didn't even get freed from by Shaper. Probably ought to put a life flask on, but ever since flask became auto-poppable, life flask just no longer exists to me. I will never use a life flask again, because, you know, I can just every build, I need to be able to put one hand up like this and just one-hand it. Just relaxing. Big relaxing. If you can't big relax, your build is trash. If you have to click more than your right mouse button, you didn't build your build right. These are just facts to the game. See, Elder, he's not even where his explosion was. The fact that he can set that explosion and then, you know, blow it up when he's doing other stuff, I forgot it was even there. I'm not complaining about the Elder fight. The Elder fight is flawless and excellent. So is the Shaper. Two of the best boss designs they've ever had. I'm on damage over time, I guess. Where is this thing? Damage over time on the ground is always terrible in this game. So the first thing they need to do is remove reflect. The second thing they need to do is remove damage over time. All of it. Just no more damage over time pools on the ground. Completely get rid of those. It's hard to relax, you know, lean back, play with one hand, slap shit around when there's just damage over time pools. I'm shooting jizz everywhere. Oh, he's got me. Yeah, it doesn't look like this is Elder viable. It's kind of weird. I have basically the same life pool and pretty much the same energy pool. But for some reason, when he traps me in his bubble, it instantly kills me on this variant. But my real build has about the same amount of life and the same amount of armor. And yet, his damage over time pools don't kill me when he grabs me. Not damage over time. His little grab thing doesn't instantly kill me on my other build. So it's a little weird that it instantly kills me on this one. And now, oh, there it goes. And there's nothing I can do against that. It's just, he touches me, and it's just an instant death. You can't avoid it. You can't dodge it. At least I don't think you can dodge it. Alright. Elder, not possible with 9C build. Is it a failure? Yeah. If you can't do Elder, your build's a failure. So, you can't do Elder with 9 Divine. But can you do... Which one of these do I have the most of? Fire? I have the most of this little Firebird. Can you do a Firebird? Reflect physical. I swear the game scans my build, picks the things I can't do, and then does it. So I'm just gonna run it. I'm just gonna run it white. I don't want to mess with rolling this map for this little 9-10C challenge that I got going on. Let's get something a little more funky. Not funky enough. Okay, this'll work. I guess Kid Chameleon's soundtrack just isn't that good. I remember it being funky as a kid. Chameleon. Kid Chameleon was a wackadoo game. Brilliance and creativity. Now the limitations of gaming led game developers to be ultra creative. They were just limited in so many different ways, so they'd be creative to get around the limitations. That's mostly gone nowadays. It's a bit hyperbolic, but I think Final Fantasy VII Remake's soundtrack says everything about modern gaming development. Listen to the Final Fantasy VII Remake soundtrack. Every one of those tracks sounds like absolute dog shit. So if you have a 4-instrument orchestra and you're like, oh, this isn't intense enough, let's just throw 20 more instruments in there and flatten out the dynamics, then you have Final Fantasy VII R's soundtrack. Every song on there is worse than the original. There's not a single piece of music in Final Fantasy VII Remake that is better than the original. They ruined that soundtrack because they felt it wasn't intense enough. So all they did was slam more instruments, drowning out the ability to hear individual themes within the song. And if you would like examples, I can show you. But I don't think you need examples. Just listen to any of the two side to side and try to pick out funky and cool little runs and lines, and you just can't. And that is true for the game as well. They took a beautiful soundtrack and then they bloated it up and they flattened it so there's nothing exciting about it. Everything is flat. There's no rising climax. There's no dynamics. It's just terrible, terrible, terrible. And then they did the same thing with the game. They're like, hey, there's a 7-hour beginning part of Final Fantasy VII where you start in Sector 7, you're in the slums, and after about 7 to 10 hours of gameplay, you're out of that area, and then you start the rest of the game. And that's one of the best parts about Final Fantasy VII, is when you leave the first part, and I turn these, let's leave the shrines on. You leave the first part and the world opens up. They turned that 7-hour game into a bloated 25 hours for Final Fantasy Remake. It is so bloated. There's sections of the game where you have to like crawl across the wall, and there's no failure state. It's just nothing but a time sink. It's like 30 seconds where you just shimmy across the wall, and I thought maybe they're adding load times. Nuh-uh. It feels like Final Fantasy VII Remake. They built the game, and when they played it, they're like, man, this game's only 10 hours long. We need to bloat it up. Let's bloat it up with a bunch of different shit. So they bloated it up with a bunch of different shit. If you need a prime example beyond the wall shimmies or the walking across planks extremely slowly, just go to the sewers after Don Corleone's little adventure and watch the pump game. The stupid ass pump minigame. And the whole pump minigame is specifically designed to pad the game length. That's it. They're not trying to create an enjoyable experience. They're trying to pad the game. So you don't realize that you're playing a 7-hour part of the game and you're getting a full game's worth. But you're not getting a full game's worth. You're getting a remake, a 7-hour game remake that they're pretending is a real game. Alright, I just cleared a Phoenix Deathless. Sure, there was no mods rolled on it. Sure, the shrines helped me out a little bit. But this shows one of the... Let me do a deep cut here. Pause that music. We're going to do a deep cut. One of the problems in balancing this game is some skills are just superior to others. Exsanguinate is just superior to other skills. I could put several other skills on here, and that's just not going to be as powerful as Exsanguinate. And some of those skills that aren't as powerful, they need a buff. And then that doesn't even count how difficult it is to be a melee build. And I don't have solutions. I praise GGG for getting as far as they've done. But in order to get this to the next level, they somehow have to try to take the broken billion DPS builds and I wouldn't say nerf those builds, but just take the builds that aren't doing a billion damage and do something for them. Just do a little bit for them. Let's do one more map. We did that one. What's something difficult I can do that's not too difficult? You know what? Do I have a simulacrum? I just ran a bunch. I don't think. Nope, I don't have a simulacrum. Don't have a simulacrum at all. So I will run... Oh, Droxus. Droxus is always a great test. So I'm going to run a regular Droxus. You can see the deeps. Might as well give it 5% more. Now, I'm a big fan of Droxus as a boss. I think it's awesomely designed. I really like the phase where he's just like, I'm going to go in a bubble. It's almost like a DPS check, but on top of it being a DPS check, if you're making different builds, if you remember how quickly and how stably you can beat a Droxus, it's a good way to compare builds. And I really like Droxus for that purpose. Now, Baron, I think Baron is the exact opposite of where they should go. Everything about Baron is terrible, and it's one of the worst bosses they've ever designed. Not because the boss battle is difficult, but because everything about Baron is trash. Those Baron squares that prevent you from regenning shit, that is awful. I mean, you don't want to have to worry about your build being turned off while you're playing the game. And on top of that, his lightning shotgun attacks that can allow for shotgunning, that needs to get removed as well. Again, I'm not hating on GGG. I know I probably couldn't do better. I can't say I know and then add a probably, can I? That's an incorrect use of grammar. I know that I couldn't design a game better than GGG has designed this. But, that being said, because of things like increased cast speed, if you pop increased cast speed on and then you go fight a Baron, and you're not obviously an overpowered build that's just going to kill Baron before he even gets to attack, you're going to have a bad time. And if you get increased attack and cast speed with increased AoE, and he shoots those lightning beams that are very difficult to predict and or dodge, you're just going to die. He's going to shotgun you with multiple layers of damage, and there's nothing you can do about it. Unless, of course, your build is insane. And when I say insane, I'm talking just 10 million damage or extremely high levels of defense. Once you're in the 10 million damage range, your build should be able to breeze through all the content except for Ubers. Well, you can even do Uber Elder. You should be able to breeze through all the content super easy at 10 million deeps. And in my opinion, you really probably, unless you're doing an Uber farmer, I don't think people should be getting too much above 10 million damage. Because once you play a build that does 100 million damage, the game's kind of over for you. It's like when you get your build done and your build's complete, there's no more progress. So the only thing left is a loot farming game. And I don't really like a loot farming game. Don't get me wrong. I love to farm loot. But more than loving to farm loot is I love to build and progress builds. And once you get your build to 100 million or so DPS, you can pop into a Maven and just instantly kill it. You can pop into an Uber Maven and instantly kill it. every build you play from that point on is just going to feel bad. Like right now, I'm having a blast. One hand, I don't know why my other hand's on the keyboard. I don't need the other hand. I am one-handing a, you know, what do I got? A Baron map with a 9C budget, and I'm having a good time. I can still have a good time with these low-end builds, but the better the builds you play, the worse these low-end builds feel. And unless you want to turn a game with over 1,000 build variety into a game with 20 build variety, stay away from power, man. Just stay away from the power. And then when you play the game and you've been playing the same meta overpowered build for 5 leagues in a row, take a break. Do some SSF hardcore or some other shit to remind you that this game is more than doing 1 billion damage and just farming currency. There's quite a bit of fun to be had in this game if you just put limits on yourself a little bit. It's kind of similar to music. Like, what's that stupid game? Undertale. Undertale applied several limitations on itself, and it was those limitations that made that game great, especially the soundtrack. I mean, they could have done an orchestra, they could have done all kinds of stuff for the soundtrack, but instead, I'm pretty sure they just use a MIDI keyboard, and they made some of the best damn music you can get. So, I mean, everyone plays a little bit different, but if you're finding yourself a little bit bored of this game, and you're just slamming through the content, it's not providing any challenge, set your own limitations, man. Maybe grab a Divine and do a Divine build. I don't recommend a 9C build, only pure chads like myself can do a 9Chaos build, and then just, breeze through T16s like it ain't no thing. I'm just messing around, guys. I'm just messing around. I know I'm not good at the game. I know. You don't need to... Okay, point it out. Point out how trash I am. Let's play that game. But I do really like the Unleash playstyle. See me just kind of hurting. I'm hurting these guys like I'm some kind of sheepdog. Just spin around and unleash on them. The Unleash 4 with this level of damage might be a bit of a waste. And man, I got a crush. A mad sexual crush with the developers of this game once they added the auto-popping flask. Ooh, man, I've always hated the flask in this game. I used to just never really use them. I'd use an auto-clicker that would auto-click my flask, and I would never roll flask. I hate flask. I still hate flask for the most part. But allowing the flask to pop themselves, ooh, man, that was a fantastic change to this game. Absolutely fantastic. And the main reason I don't like Flask is I don't have the skills and response time to actually know when I need to pop a Flask or when I'm taking damage. Because by the time it's time to pop a Flask, I'm already dead. I am 100% already dead by the time it's time to pop a Flask. I never make it in time. There's never an instance where, man, popping that life flask saved my life. It's always an instance of, oh, I popped that life flask about a half a second too slow, and now I'm dead. And them allowing the flask to just auto-pop, I cannot describe how happy that makes me. I could try. It's like a bowl of Fruity Pebbles, but instead of using milk, you're using Red Bull, and you got this Red Bull Fruity Pebble mix in your mouth. That's what allowing these flasks to auto-pop does for me. That's what it does for me. Alright, looks like Drox isn't going to be a problem. Let's pop a curse on him. Wait, he got me good that time. Alright, here we go, here we go. He's in his bubble. Wait, is he in his bubble? No, he's not in his bubble yet. Get in your bubble, big boy. There we go. He's bubbled, he's cursed, and then let's pump that damage. See, here's where Awakened Spell Echo would be better. You still get a few extra casts with Unleash, but when you can pump it like this, Spell Echo is way better. But I find Unleash to be a little bit more enjoyable than Spell Echo, especially because it doesn't quite have the same stutter that Spell Echo has. Right now my cast speed's super slow, which works for Unleash. But when you're using Awakened Spell Echo or just Spell Echo, and your cast speed isn't, you know, insanely fast, there's a tiny stutter, it makes it a little bit difficult to play extremely evasive. It's a small sacrifice for the amount of damage that you get from Spell Echo. But if I had to pick one to play with for the rest of my life, I could only pick Unleash or Spell Echo. I'm picking Unleash. I gotta say. Spell damage being so powerful and so strong in this game kind of disables Unleash from being ultra effective, because there's so few things that can give you spell damage on the base passive tree. So if I go spell damage, spell damage, and we take a look, we have this node here. I don't know why this, oh, it's spell crit. You got this node here, which is giving you 20% spell damage, and there's one here that's 20% spell damage. It might be it. I think there's this one. Now that's cast speed. Yeah, there's so little spell damage on the tree, and that's because spell damage is so powerful. They couldn't allow a lot of spell damage to be on the tree. You can circumvent some of that. And there's spell damage when you have a staff. Actually, you can circumvent all that by using a cluster jewel with the spell damage cluster jewel. But Path of Exile often pigeonholes itself by necessity when things become overpowered, and a lot of those have to do with the ability to over-ramp the damage in specific ways. And you can do that in spell damage for a lot of different stuff through like shotgunning or multiple hit projectile spells. And the same thing kind of happens with minions and totems. So you notice on the new Chieftain passive skill tree, there's no totem damage. Adding totem damage gets very dangerous because you have multiple totems out. And so if you add 10% totem damage and there's 4 totems, that's actually a 40% more totem damage multiplier. And it gets pretty nutty pretty quick when you can do things like shotgun or increase the amount of hits or increase the amount of totems. So they can't really add too much more totem damage. You're not going to see a lot of, 30% increased totem damage stuff coming into this game because it just scales too big, especially if you could preload a lot of stuff. So totems, before you get to the boss, you could throw all your totems down and then it'd preload and just instantly kill the boss. And GGG does a pretty good job of mitigating that. But one of the downsides with that is with Unleashed, you want less attack, you want less cast speed. Well, cast speed's pretty much irrelevant for the most part, and you want as much spell damage and crit as possible. So in order for like a really cool synergized Unleash build, you want to be able to stack up big, slow hits that you cast it, you do the big hit, and then you run around and you avoid damage, and then you charge up your big hit again. It's a really fun playstyle, but there's not a lot that can be done to fully capitalize on that versus stacking insane cast speed and just going ham on things. That's always going to be the better choice at stacking insane cast speed and going ham on things than Unleash, unless you're talking about playability and stuff. Now I'm just ranting, and I did the 9C challenge. Let's make sure it can delve. Entering the mine. 10Chaos Easy delve. The assassin gets no love, but the assassin can enable extremely effective, high damage builds with its kit. Using this kit, you're getting your power charges. This right here is a beast, and this guy's actually better than I thought. I did my assassin review. I might have to pump this up because it just, when they hit low life, it feels like it's doing way more than 15% damage. I said this is probably an estimation of like a 12% more damage. It might be closer to 20. And if this is 20% more damage overall, I ranked it a little too low. But I just don't like the situationalness of it. Yeah, I can make my music play just by tapping the side of my head. I'm not wearing headphones. This is just what my head looks like. See, I can go. Turn it off. Tap my head. Turn it on. The right side of the tree just feels so much better than the left side of the tree too. Going evasion and spell suppress, it just feels great. It feels way better. I feel elemental damage is a little overtuned because if you don't have spell suppression or probably about 82 max all res or a way to mitigate it, it just hits so hard. A lot of people are worried about physical damage, but physical damage really only applies and becomes dangerous towards the late game. And by that point, you already got your elemental damage figured out. Alright, that is the challenge. 9C, super easy, with a 6 link. I could drop this to a 4 link and still probably clear T16s. Now, obviously, I'm not going to clear it that great. But yeah, the amount of damage you can get for very little currency is pretty bonkers. I have no clue what I'm going to do with all this currency that I have now. I'm not buying a Mage Blood. I'm not buying a Headhunter. I've done all that. I don't really enjoy it because once I get that Mage Blood and then I pump up my build to a certain extent, I just no longer want to play it again. Once I'm done building a build, I almost immediately want to stop playing it. Because once there's no longer any growth to be had with the build, I'm just done with it. Because the whole point of a build for me is to grow it, is to make it stronger. Watch number go up, and once your number doesn't really go up anymore, there's just very little reason to play the build. Anywho, this has been the 10C challenge. I completed it with 9. That is all. Check y'all later.